Last month, I was drowning in support tickets for my side project. Every day, I spent hours manually sorting through user requests, debugging queries, and increasingly feeling overwhelmed. Developers know this pain, the repetitive cycle of endless tasks that steal time from the actual innovation. That's when I discovered CopilotKit, and it completely transforms the way I build intelligent applications. Imagine having an AI assistant that can instantly understand your app context, answer your user queries, and perform complete tasks, all without weeks of complex back-end development. This is not a far-off dream. It's exactly what Copilot delivered. And in this tutorial, I will show you how it can transform your development workflow. Let's dive in. At its core, CopilotKit is more than just a library. It's a comprehensive toolkit that will transform your existing applications into intelligent, context-aware systems. Think of it as giving your app a brain that can not only understand your complex scenarios, but also perform meaningful actions. And here's what makes CopilotKit so powerful. Pre-built chat interfaces that can be integrated seamlessly. Real-time state awareness, which means your AI understands your app context instantly. Intelligent action handlers that can automate complete tasks. And finally, no more complex machine learning pipeline. With just a few lines of code, you can bring an AI assistant online. When I first implemented CopilotKit, I was stunned by how quickly I could have an AI assistant in my application. No PhD in machine learning required, just React code and a few minutes of your time. Let's be brutally honest about AI development. It has traditionally been a nightmare. Most developers spend more time wrestling with complex integrations than solving problems. CopilotKit flips the script completely. No more spending weeks designing a chat interface, and the AI assistant understands your app right away. In addition to that, CopilotKit can automate complex tasks with minimal effort. In my projects, CopilotKit has reduced development time by weeks. And the best part, you don't need to be an AI expert. If you can write React code, then you can integrate intelligent AI assistant for all your existing projects. Let me paint a real-world scenario. Imagine you are building a customer support application. Traditionally, this would require manual ticket sorting, repetitive response writing, and complex workflow management. With CopilotKit, I transformed this process entirely. In one of my personal projects, I created a support assistant that can read real-time ticket data, generate intelligent context-aware responses, automatically create and prioritize follow-up tasks, and reduce my manual workload by 60%. Now let's dive into the core components of CopilotKit and see how they work. First, we have Chat UI, a pre-built customizable chat component that requires minimal configuration. No more designing chat interfaces from scratch. CopilotKit handles the heavy lifting. Second, we have Use Copilot Readable. This hook is amazing. It allows your AI to read any data from your application state, whether you have tasks, user profiles, or complex logs. The AI gains instant contextual understanding. Third, we have Use Copilot Action, the true power behind CopilotKit. This hook enables the AI to take action within your application. In my projects, I have used it to create tasks, respond to tickets, and even escalate complex issues automatically. Now let's explore some advanced components that can take your AI assistant to the next level. First, we have Chat Suggestion with Use Copilot Chat Suggestions. Imagine giving your user a head start in interacting with the AI. This hook provides conversation starter cards for your AI assistant. Then we have the initial assistant message. The Copilot pop-up component allows you to set an initial greeting that immediately establishes the AI's context and capabilities. Third, we have the intelligent text completion with Copilot text area. It transforms standard text input into an intelligent, context-aware writing assistant. Now let me show you how easy it is to integrate these components into a project. Alright, now for the fun part. We are going to walk through an excellent example project created by the Copilot team. They have put together a perfect demonstration of how to add AI capabilities to a React application. And we will be using their to-do list example to learn how Copilot works. You can find this and other great examples in their GitHub repository at github.com/CopilotKit. The Copilot team has structured this example brilliantly to demonstrate the key concepts. Let's start by looking at their base to-do list implementation, which provide a solid foundation for adding AI feature. The project uses React Context API for state management, a pattern you might recognize from your own projects. The to-do list app is built with a clean architecture that separates concern. Task provider manages the state of our to-dos. Task list renders a list of tasks. Add task handle task creation, and individual task component. What makes Copilot special is how elegantly it connects AI capabilities to your existing React application. The team has designed two key hooks that we will use. Use Copilot Readable for letting the AI understand your app state, and use Copilot Action for enabling the AI to take actions. Let's look at how they have implemented this in the example. Now that we understand what makes CopilotKit special, let's walk through the implementation step by step. I will guide you through each command and explain what's happening behind the scene. First, we need to get the starter project on our local machine. The CopilotKit team has prepared a special branch called Page Start here that gives us the perfect foundation to build upon. Let me show you the command. We will type get clone followed by the branch flag -p page start here, and then the repository URL. This command specifically pulls down the starter version of the ToDo app, giving us a clean slate to work with. Once that's done, we will change into the project directory with cd example-todos-app. Think of this like walking into our workshop where we will be adding AI capabilities. Finally, we will run npm install to get all the basic dependencies set up. This command reads the package.json file and brings in all the building blocks we need for our to-do list app to work. Now we are ready to start the project by running npm run dev. And if we go to http localhost at port 3000, we can see the to-do list app. Now let's start adding some AI Copilot superpower to this app. I have opened the project in VS Code. Now comes the exciting part, installing CopilotKit itself. We are actually going to install two packages that work together to give us all the AI capabilities. The command is npm install CopilotKit/React Core/React-UI, as you can see on the screen. The React Core package is like the brain of our AI assistant. It handles all the logics, state management, and communication between your app and the AI. The React-UI package gives us the beautiful chat interface that your user will interact with. Let's run the command now. It's like the face of our AI assistant, providing a familiar chat experience right inside your app. First, we will import CopilotKit from CopilotKit/React-Core. Then we wrap our app with the CopilotKit component and provide it with our API key. Think of this like plugging in and turning on our AI assistant. The provider creates a secure connection between your app and CopilotKit's AI services. The children prop here means that everything inside this wrapper will have access to the AI capabilities we are adding. It's like creating a smart environment where all your components can interact with the AI assistant. To get your Copilot Cloud public API key, you have to sign in to cloud.copilotkit.ai, and then from there you can get your API key. Now that we have our basic setup ready, let's add the chat interface that your user will interact with. CopilotKit makes this incredibly easy by providing several pre-built components that you can drop right into your application. Think of these components like different types of doors into your AI assistant. You have options like Copilot Pop-up, which create a chat window in the corner of your screen, similar to what you might see on a customer service website. There is also Copilot Sidebar, which gives you a full-height chat panel, and Copilot Chat, which you can place anywhere in your layout. For our to-do list app, we will use the Copilot pop-up component. It's clean, unobtrusive, and perfect for this kind of application. But keep in mind, if you want to create your own custom interface later, CopilotKit supports that too, through something called a headless mode using the Copilot chat hook. Let's open our main page file and add the chat interface. I will walk you through the code changes we need to make. First, we will add some important import at the top of our file. We need the Copilot pop-up component from the React UI package, and we will also import some styles to make everything look polished. Next, notice how we are structuring our page component. We are wrapping our task list with the task provider. This handles our to-do list state. Then we are adding the Copilot pop-up component as a sibling to this task provider. This means our chat interface will always be available, regardless of what's happening with our to-do list. One small but important detail, see that use client directive at the top? That's telling Next.js that this component needs to run on the client side, which is essential for our interactive feature to work. When you save these changes and refresh your application, you will see something exciting. A small chat button will appear in the bottom right corner of your screen. Click it and that's it. You now have a fully functional chat interface ready to go. At this point, you can already start chatting with your AI assistant, though it doesn't know about your to-dos just yet. Don't worry, we will teach it about your task in the next steps, which is where the real magic happens. This is a great moment to test things out. Try clicking the chat button and send a simple message. The AI will respond, though it won't able to help with your to-dos until we add that capability in our next step. Before we move on, take a moment to appreciate how little code it took to add this sophisticated chat interface. This is one of the things that makes CopilotKit so powerful. It handles all the complex UI interactions while letting us focus on making our AI assistant smarter. Right now, we have a chatbot that can talk to us, but it's like having an assistant who's blindfolded. They can hear you, but they cannot see what's going on in your to-do list. Let's fix that by giving our AI assistant the ability to understand your tasks. Think of it like teaching a new team member about your task management system. First, they need to understand what information is available and how it's organized. They can start helping you managing your task effectively. Let's peek under the hood of our to-do list app. Open the usetask.tsx file in the library/hook folder. This file is like the control center of our to-do list. Inside, we will find something called a task provider. If you are familiar with React, you will recognize this pattern. It's a context provider that manages our to-do list state. Think of it as a central database that keeps track of everything happening in our app. This provider gives us 4 essential things: the list of tasks themselves, and 3 functions to manage them: adding tasks, updating them, and deleting them. All of these are wrapped up nicely in a custom hook called useTasks that other part of our app can use. This is a common pattern you will see in many React applications, keeping all the important data and functions in one central place where any component can access them. Now comes the exciting part, teaching our AI assistant about our to-dos. CopilotKit gives us a special tool for this called Use Copilot Readable. Think of this hook as giving our AI assistant a pair of glasses. Suddenly it can see everything that happens in our to-do list. Let me show you how remarkably simple this is. We will add just a few lines of code to our task provider. First, we import Use Copilot Readable from the CopilotKit core package. And then we use it inside our provider. The hook takes two important pieces of information. A description that tells the AI what this data represents. In our case, the state of the to-do list, and the actual data itself, which we will provide as a JSON string of our task. It's worth noting that the description we provide is crucial. It's like giving context to a human assistant. The better they understand what they are looking at, the more helpful they can be. Now comes the fun part. Save your changes and go back to your app. Click the chat button on the corner and try asking your AI assistant about your to-dos. Try something like, how many tasks do I still need to get done? And press enter. Watch what happens. Your AI assistant can now see your to-do list and give you accurate information about it. It can tell you how many tasks are incomplete, what tasks are due soon, or help you understand your workload. This is just the beginning though. In our next step, we will take this even further by teaching our AI assistant how to actually manage your tasks, adding new ones, marking them complete, and more. But for now, take a moment to experiment with different questions and see how well your AI assistant understands your to-do list. Isn't it amazing how just a few lines of code can make your AI assistant so much more helpful? This is the power of CopilotKit, making it incredibly easy to create AI assistants that truly understand your application. Now we are ready for the most exciting part, giving our AI assistant the ability to actually manage your tasks. Remember how we just gave it the ability to see your to-do list? Well, now we are going to give it hands to work with, the ability to create, update, and delete tasks on your behalf. Think about it like training a new personal assistant. First, we taught them to understand your task system, and now we are going to teach them how to actually help you manage those tasks. Let's look at what action we want our AI assistant to perform. If we open our usetask.tsx file again, we can see three main functions that handle all our task management. Add task for creating new tasks, set task status for marking tasks as complete or incomplete, and delete task for removing tasks we don't need anymore. These are the same functions that power the buttons and control in our to-do list interface. Now we are going to let our AI assistant use this function too, but through natural language command instead of clicking buttons. Here's where the magic happens. CopilotKit gives us another powerful tool called Use Copilot Action. Think of this as creating a set of clear instructions for our AI assistant, like writing a manual for what's allowed to do and how to do it. Let's implement this action one by one. First, we need to import Use Copilot Action from React Core. Then we will create the Add Task action. We need to tell our AI assistant three things: what the action is called, what it does, and what information it needs to do its job. In this case, it needs a title for the new task. Next, we will add the Delete Task action. This one needs to know which task to remove, so we tell it to look for a task ID. Finally, we set up the Task Status action. This is a bit more complex because it needs both the task ID and a status, whether the task should be marked as done or not done. For each action, we are essentially creating a clear button that our AI can press. but we are also giving it the understanding of when and how to use these buttons through the description we provide. Notice how we are being very specific about what type of information each action needs. When we say a task ID should be a number or a title should be a string, we are putting guardrails in place to make sure our AI assistant cannot accidentally make mistakes. It's like giving someone a form with clearly labeled fields. They know exactly what information goes where, and the form won't let them submit if they fill it out incorrectly. Let's save our changes and let's go back to our app. Try asking your AI assistant to help you manage your task. You can say things like, create a task about inviting Danielle to my birthday. And as you can see, the task is created. We can also ask it to mark task with ID 2 as done. And as you can see, it is smart. It is already marked as done. If there's anything else you need, feel free to let me know. And finally, let's ask it to delete all outstanding tasks. And as you can see, all outstanding tasks has been deleted. Watch how naturally your AI assistant understands these requests and takes the appropriate action. It is not just understanding your words, it's actually making changes to your to-do list. What makes this especially powerful is that your AI assistant can combine its understanding of your current tasks with its ability to make changes. So if you ask something like mark all completed tasks for deletion, it can look at your task list, figure out which ones are done, and remove them, all from a single natural language request. And there you have it. We have transformed a simple to-do list into an intelligent task management assistant. Think about how powerful this is. You are no longer just clicking buttons and typing in tasks. You can have a natural conversation with your app and it will understand and help you manage your task. Try experimenting with different ways to interact with your AI assistant. You might be surprised at how intuitive and helpful it can be. This is just the beginning of what's possible with CopilotKit. You can apply the same principle to any kind of application where you want to add intelligent conversational interactions. Now let's be transparent. CopilotKit is not a magical solution for every scenario. It won't replace deep system understanding or complex business logic. If your application has extremely complex workflow, you will still need custom implementation. However, for about 80% of typical use cases, it is transformative. The key is understanding its strengths and applying it strategically. Here's my challenge to you. Take your current project and see how quickly you can add an AI assistant with CopilotKit. I guarantee you will be surprised how few lines of code it takes to add a genuine intelligence to your application. That's it, everyone. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any question or you want to see a deep dive into a specific feature of CopilotKit, let me know in the comments below. The AI revolution is here and it's more accessible than ever. Until next time, happy coding.